I've seen some people do it here and there, but it didn't strike me as something that was like particularly amazing with LGD's heroes. They do have this like massive oomph, like super strong physical damage with like acid and corrosive and stuff. So there's some like overlapping identity there, but I am not sure I really understand the pick, to be honest.
Oh look, they've got the train set up here.
Yeah, they're ready to go. And again, LGD have lost one singular game the entire tournament, and this is now the upper bracket second round as OG. I mean, I think the thing that boggles my mind the most is everybody went for OG on the panel, and there's a troll warlord on their team. I know Lacoste has a lot of history of talk. I mean, I love this hero as well, but I've also horribly lost faith in it because it just feels like it always loses.
Yeah, everybody hates on this hero, to be honest. I mean, we lost it when we lost to OG. They had Troll Warlord, so they've at least had some success on it. They have won a singular game, so that's something in Troll's book. Yeah, I mean, this is a decent Troll game. Radiant doesn't have much like of this spammy, pokey stuff that Troll doesn't like to play against. They have a lot of like sort of unga-bunga melee heroes that are going to be like real close range that Troll can beat on some. So there's some merit for it. He has buffers as well, which Troll likes.
I'll go ahead and blame Thompson too for everybody hating Troll. He had that one very famous clip of
could help him out a lot in this game, but we'll see. Not the most common pickup as OG. Looking to contest this rune to start things out, but nothing to say. Holding his ground. And it looks like it's going to be just a 2-2 split for the bounties to start this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see how this game pans out as like the 10-minute mark gets past, we get more into the mid game, because LGD has like this super massive like pop one hero ability. Dire has like a lot of sustain and a lot of trying to like keep this one troll alive and a lot of functioning around this one storm doing well. So if LGD like holds off this like immediate pressure, I can see there being a really cool timing at some point in the mid game where it gets really difficult for any of Dire's heroes to run in, or they just get like popped.
And in this mid lane, BZM playing the Storm. Nothing to say on the Pango. You play both these heroes.
I do.
We were just talking off panel about, I keep saying panel, this off cast. So you're going to see a Blade Fury in the bot lane, but Amar should be fine, actually just standing his ground, tanking it for now. But the nerfs to Storm, talk to us about how severe they may or may not be.
Yeah, I mean, they're a pretty big deal. People just straight up don't buy nulls anymore. They buy Soul Ring instead now because the nulls have just been beaten mercilessly into the ground. But with Io, it's sort of one of the only heroes that can fix his issues because you can port him to base, so he just gets this full refill. Io can, you know, camp him on the runes, give him more resources. So it sort of like brings him like a little bit back to his former glory.
Do you think Storm is the best backline assassin in Dota, like fundamentally? Can you think of a better one?
I think in good Spectre games, Spectre probably trumps the hero.
Yeah.
Because you can jump everyone at once.
Yeah, but like eventually, right? I feel like Storm is like all points of the game, like including early game, you can jump like an Io or an Oracle.
Yeah, when the hero gets his items, there can be some pretty stupid points in the game.
As Uraga getting hooked up by Seb, who is playing the Io this time around, so no Wind Ranger for him. Or Earthshaker, I feel like those are the two heroes he's played most of the tournament. But in the mid lane, Pango versus Storm, how does that matchup typically go for the Pango? Because this is a hero that can have a bit of a rough laning stage sometimes, depending on who he's going up against.
Yeah, I think this matchup tends to be pretty drawish. I think both heroes will farm generally about the same amount as well. If Pango buys a stick, he'll buy like maybe an extra set of tangos, but generally you'll sort of just split farm. It's sort of, the rune situation is sort of interesting in this game because neither hero can really kill each other that much, so there may be some like weird rune trading situations where it's either a click fast or it's a 50-50, and there may be some rune that like sort of spins things out of control because neither team can actually kill the other mid hero.
You know a lot about those runes.
Yeah, I was going to say 50-50 for everybody other than you.
Yeah, that is true.
Get those runes.
Me and Gaben have a thing.
So do we. We got some from Gaben too.
Yeah, that's a different thing entirely, though. Is we can see the concoction here from Innocence, aka Wyatt. It's off onto Amar, but not a whole lot of damage follow-up from Ame this time around. So yeah, the double melee lane for PSG LGD, not the most traditional. Juggernaut a lot of times relying on slows or stuns, and it's really just concoction from Y. And you can see that his farm has suffered as a result of this. Only 8-3 to start the game out. On the other side, 17-5 for the Troll. So pretty night and day situation in both respective safe lanes.
Yeah, I mean, this safe lane for LGD, if if it continues to trend downwards, can get really out of hand because the Pango will be very tied up mid. Like this matchup is not one where you can rotate that easily. It's tends to be pretty regen intensive. Pango will either be low on bottle charges or low on resources. So if bottom lane starts getting out of hand and Dire is this like continual pressure, I'm not sure if there's going to be that much relief able to come from LGD or that much pressure elsewhere.
I think it helps to have this last pick troll versus Slardar lane. Obviously, that's a pretty hard counter, and when your offlaner's Bloodseeker, you mentioned that the mid lane is very regen based. Like Amar's just fast move speed for this entire game, for the entire laning phase, unless a ton of regen is being spammed.
Yeah, crush here from Faith Beyond, but Iragi gonna force out most of PSG LGD for the time being as he continues to get very good farm. You can see the mid lane basically a wash, like you said, Quinn, so not a huge surprise in the end. And no opportunity to gank either because of the mobility that will eventually come for the Storm, but Pango inherently. And here comes a 50-50 battle, and the BZM gets the water rune. Of course, it would have been a bigger deal if it was the 6-minute rune, but either way, Jin Q guarding this one, so nothing to say, still finds one anyway.
Yeah, he'll go walk on up there and chill, but bottom lane is pretty rough right now. I'm also not sure if this lane gets much better, as Alchemist's strength as like a support in lane tends to be going for these kills, and I don't know if you're killing this 8 armor Bloodseeker with boots, or if, I don't know, this Chen has some creeps, maybe at some point he gets this some ice ogre, and that will like spell disaster for bottom lane. I don't see this lane getting that much better over time, and there's definitely a possibility that there's like this mounting pressure that is pretty hard for LGD to deal with.
Chen Bloodseeker seems kind of cool, actually. You got the healing amplification with the healing that comes from Thirst. He's just full HP constantly.
And the position 5 Alchemist, what do you guys think of this hero as a 5? Like, in terms of itemization, is this, like, obviously you're just there to get stuns off in the laning stage, but when you get some items, is this actually an Ags giver at any point, or is it going to be too much of a struggle? Like, if you see it as a 4, you assume that's kind of the role, but...
Yeah, I feel like you're probably buying some medallion, crest, maybe 4-staff type of deal, just like whatever the game needs. I don't know if you're rich enough to buy Ags, and Ags isn't even particularly good on any of Radiant's heroes. It's like good on Juggernaut later, but...
How dare you? Pango's great.
Sort of.
Great Ags. Just have a moment of silence.
I thought you were going to continue with the Ags point.
Nothing to say. He's going to pop. Nope. Going to fake his ult out as BZM, obviously with the zip available, wouldn't have any trouble getting away here.
A little bit of a bait. He uses mana.
I feel like last bit, or having the Alchs as a 5 is more of just a flex thing. It's just like, okay, well, we have some random stunning support. You don't really get to do the Ag stuff. You know, people always theory craft it, but then it never plays out.
Yeah.
Neither does the offlane Alchemist either. You just go carry build in the offlane. Like, everybody goes Radiance anyway.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I agree.
The Ags thing, it seems kind of dead.
I don't think we've seen an Ags even on Alchemist himself after supplying the rest of it. So many theory crafting situations when that first patch came out.
The rune has been controlled. Yeah. I mean, you could see Zinq earlier trying to move down bottom and get some kill to happen, but it's like all Dire's heroes are always full HP, iOS TP ready. It's very difficult for them to actually kill heroes right now. I mean, you can see them trying mid, trying for some stun fog, but it's like very annoying. I mean, you can see it's 0-0-630, right? It's not that common.
Yeah, trying to defend this ward that's attempting to be dewarded by Nothing to Say, but BZM forced out, and right click goes to Nothing to Say.
It's a weird little ward battle right there. Just delaying a little bit.
Still this min-maxing. Zamar, he's very close to level 6, and when that Rupture comes online, obviously you can just Blade Fury TP, but top lane, we're going to see the bash come through with the cookie from Jin Q, and Iragi already very low, but Seb is hooked up. Concoction coming from the roaming Alchemist, and Faith Beyond looking to finish this off with another crush. Iragi still getting regen, but this looks to be first blood going the way of PSG LGD, and making Alchemist look pretty good, actually.
What a beast.
He's getting a courier, too.
He's just waddling around, just getting these stuns off, stunning himself half the time, but it worked out.
All about the other half.
True.
I mean, I think this is something that LGD is maybe better at any other team at, is like just because they're losing some lane or some heroes behind or they're countered, like whatever, it doesn't really matter to them. They'll still read the situation and see that, hey, they're both level 5, Troll's not actually that strong right now, he doesn't have his phase boots on him. Like, they read this very specific situation and they get this kill, which means like a lot. Where some other team might just generalize the hate slaughter against Troll, we don't gank here.
Yeah. Well, Ame trying to contest this little stack here. He's going to get a decent amount of farm from it. Obviously could get ruptured now, but it's not going to be that much backup, looks like. As top lane, Seb takes a tumble via Y again, but the zip in from BZM is going to get stunned immediately thanks to the Rolling Thunder. But Jin Q, one more right click will do it, and they find it as Yuragi takes him out. But with that corrosive haze, he has to be very careful, especially with the Io still dead. Concoction is there, he's going to pop the ult a little bit prematurely, loses control of his hero, so it's going to continue to chase. Nothing to say. We'll see if they try to turn this around as another corrosive haze comes. Gets the whirling axes off. Now nothing to say, has to be very careful. And the Concoction not going to come out in time to save his life. But he'll go off anyway, but a nice turnaround here from OG as they're going to find 2 and lose none. Unless you count Seb dying before that fight even started.
Yeah, nothing to say. Yola in for the kill there, right as he pressed ult. I think even if he got the swash off before Yuragi purged the corrosive, he probably wouldn't have died, so a slight misplay there. And in games like this where the margins are razor thin and you really need to like squeeze every bit you can out of these early skirmishes because your kill potential is so limited, you don't have this like natural kicking people out of lanes pressure. Like little mistakes like that where you give away some kills can mean, you know, a big deal, because you can see Ame's been kicked out of lane, he's jungling, you know, he's 900 net worth down on the Bloodseeker, and you know, he's full HP, he's supposed to be able to come back to lane and take the creeps under tower, but he's not in the spot that you'd normally see Ame or want to see Ame in.
Yeah, I mean, top 3 net worths in the game are all on OG's side. So Ame obviously trying to play the catch-up game. Only has phase boots right now in the Wraith Band. Maelstrom is just getting started.
Amar on the flip side is building a Maelstrom, and he's maxing Blood Rage now too. He went 3 points in Thirst for the lane, but now he's going max Blood Rage, so he's going carry build. I'm curious, what do you think about Amar's like carry style off lane when he does this? Like he really commits to it with this sort of build.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this specific case, it's not so bad. I don't know if Bloodseeker is like, I don't know, I'm hardly an expert on the hero as a offlaner, but I don't know, I think you can argue about like how objectively good a lot of what Amar does in terms of like the super ricing carry style offlane, but I think what OG does really well is like enabling their players. So even though you can like argue back and forth about how objectively good it is, like they make it look good, and they pick the heroes and the supports, like they almost have 2-5 sometimes to enable the fact that they have like 3 carries. And I think that's like what's really impressive about Amar, and that he has a playstyle and he has a thing he likes to do, and he found a way to make that work as opposed to like trying to change himself, which I think is what OG is like especially good at if you look at the story.
That makes sense. Now, can he make sense of the Manta Viper that he knows every now and then?
That would be 3 Vipers flying around, in my opinion.
That's the... I mean, he wins with it. So. I don't know. It's very strange indeed. As 7 Amar now going to be pressuring this tier 1 tower with this first, I guess the second siege.
Can't do nothing about
nothing to say in Jin Q, doing the same in the top lane. As OG have a 2K lead already, and this is just basically right past the laning stage. And that's what I mean, usually I look at Alchemist. Oh, it's an Alchemist. It's not really an Alchemist game. That's why Cinderin did lie. Concoction going off, and it won't save his life. So an easy pickoff for OG, and the tier 1 tower will be taken out as well.
BZM got the Fairies Trinket, by the way, so his strength is now at 150% for the rest of this game. Isn't that right, Quinn?
Yes, he's a very lucky man.
Yeah.
He also had to deal with Gaben, but I can't talk about that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it happens.
I mean, I think you see this 2K lead and you think OG's in a very commanding position. But I think a lot of other teams beside LGD would have bled more kills, or they'd be down more gold, or they wouldn't have managed their HP so properly. Because if you look, they're still farming on LGD. It doesn't feel like they're out of the game. Like, they're still getting items, they're still chilling, they're still taking the XP in the lanes. There's not this like absolute crumpling of the map you would see oftentimes. So even though they're down 2K gold, even 3K now at this point, it still feels like they're okay. They still have this mid-tower fight ready if LG tries to come to the mid-tower. They're still contesting runes, still getting items. I think despite the gold lead, they're still in a fine state.
What do you think the next move is for LGD then to come back? Is it like they're waiting for a specific item, or just camp a ward opportunity sort of thing?
Well, Jin Q getting gone up, but the TP comes in from nothing to say. Looks like Jin Q will die anyway. The rupture applied though at the same time. Nothing to say with that ult. I'm focused on BZM for the time being. I don't think they're going to be able to take him out as the nice relocate comes out. Now Yuragi. Some damage to Faith Beyond, but only the Snapfire kill to start this overall fight. You can see another zip in as he gets full on mana now for BZM. Trying to get up onto Faith Beyond. Blade Fury is there, but the Blood Right just clipping him, so that should lead to another kill going the way of OG. Nice hand of God keeping his team alive, but now nothing to say. Left without any mana or any way to get out. And that's another death in favor of OG. Even the Troll is being expended just to survive through the Jin Q ult, and this is going to be another death for him if they end up getting another slow, which they will. And Ame, the last remaining member of PSG LGD, all he can do is walk away as another tier 1 goes the way of OG.
Yeah, that is what you did not want to happen. I think they got a little bit sloppy there. Zincu got caught like in the middle of the wave, and when you're in a tight position like this, every little bit of damage you lack means a really big deal. So whenever he dies like that, suddenly OG, they have the wherewithal to realize, yo, they're down like one of their damage heroes, so you go, 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 go. They bring 5 heroes mid, they win this fight, and now the map can potentially start getting pretty bad for LGD.
Yeah, the relocate allowing BZM to refill his mana and then just TP back into the fight. Definitely a big turning point for this little engagement, but yeah, like you said, that definitely hurt PSG as they're down 6K now.
This is why I love Storm as a hero, even though like the patch feels bad for him, just like as a the hero itself is bad, but like the heroes that you're playing against in Dota, the way Dota's played right now, like being able to chase like that after having this lead and snowball and actually turn it into something. Sometimes I feel like drafts do lack that, where people just like literally walk away from you after like losing one hero. And it's like, okay, we just sacked the tower, but it's not as disastrous as that, right? But with Storm, especially with Io, it feels like if one hero dies, every other hero can get chased.
Mid tower's getting banged up.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of value to it. I think it pulls their other heroes together quite well as well. Whenever you have a Bloodseeker and a Chen as your first 2 heroes, you need something very dynamic and sort of explosive to enable these heroes to actually kill things. Other you can end up in this weird spot where you're like, yeah, we're kind of tanky and like our farm, but we can't actually kill a hero. And the Storm sort of fixes that for them or helps them.
Yeah.
Yuragi. Looks like he's going for a Manta Saw to be able to dispel the Corrosive Haze along with the Lucky Shot, I would assume. But I would say not the most common pickup on Troll. Typically you want a little bit of status resist. We'll see how that works out for him. Onto the high ground now, OG into the enemy triangle. Smoked up, getting some wards. Getting a valuable D-ward there as well. And actually getting a pretty decent stack for BZM.
Yeah, and they just took their own as well, so they've taken like 2K gold worth of Ancients in the last minute and a half.
And they got all these rally creeps ready to go, and into the Roche pit, Mr. Troll Warlord is. So Yuragi looking to take advantage of picking this Troll. This is one of the few benefits that the outside public, at least from the negative aspect that Troll seems to have, be able to take this Roche uncontested.
LGD's not even interested. They're just farming in 5 different spots on the rest of their heroes.
Yeah, I think likely that is the correct decision for them. I don't think contesting this fight would be... It's very unlikely that they win it, and if they lose the fight, they probably just lose the game on the spot because the rest of the map would crumple too much. So I think them like sneaking down into this bottom lane and being super annoying, pushing this in, avoiding them, this is something that LGD is also extremely good at, is just because you're up 5K gold and you're stronger than them, they know that, and they're not going to give you some easy fight. You're going to have to make them, you're going to have to kill them, you're going to have to get them out of these stupid side lanes. And they're going to be really annoying in making you do that. You're not going to get it for free.
Ame at basically 16 minutes finishes his Maelstrom. He is so far behind. This is not something that we're used to seeing at all. I mean, if one player gets shut down from this tournament and past tournaments, it feels like the rest of the cores step up to a degree that doesn't really matter anymore, right? What was your secret, Quinn, in that game that you guys won? You have good memories that you have framed on your wall?
Yes, it's framed in our practice room. We took a screenshot and we printed it out at the hotel printer.
Nice.
Just paper all over our wall. Looks like a serial killer room.
Jenkins really likes serial killers. There's nothing to say is ruptured. He's just going to die inside his own role. Can't really do too much about that. And now Jinq looks to be next. So BZM continuing his killing spree. Ame gets off the Omni Slash, but he's not able to find the kill onto Taiga. Has his Blade Fury still to try to get away, and you can see why. Getting off that concoction, try to slow this down, but BZM able to dodge that quite easily, and that's a double kill for him as PSG LGD are just crumbling.
Yeah, they got them out the side lanes. They got the rats out. And when you get the rats out, now suddenly you're pinned in, and you can see Seb drawing the line to be in, start to be close them in, close the box, stop, don't let them into these side lanes again when they spawn. They might even start getting some lane wards. You can see the one by the base. They want to know when LGD is leaving the base because they are unfightable right now, and they want to keep chain killing them everywhere.
Okay, so once again, I beg the question, what does LGD do? Like, what's the call in their comms for how to come back from this? Is it kill one hero on a side lane and then try to chain that into other kills?
At this point, it's kind of rough. You have to like read what OG is doing and try and find an opportunity where they're isolated and not together, where you can do something. Because if they're together, there's no way you can just run.
Even on a ward, they probably can't.
Yeah,
fight, right?
you just don't have the damage.
Yeah.
So they have to be really annoying and keep ratting and hope OG at some point messes up or like goes for some kill they can't, and they're ready there to clutch.
Yeah, they're praying for a mistake. Okay.
Yeah, Y is going to run right into Amar. The Blood Rage himself. Blood Rage does connect, but the follow-up is now coming from BZM as another easy pickoff for OG. And nothing to say. Looks like he's going to go to the south and TP out. And of course, Pango into Bloodseeker, something we didn't really mention, is absolutely miserable. And you have to go Lincoln's, which feels bad because it just puts you so far behind in terms of just having the regular items that you want to go for on the hero.
He is also playing into an Orchid now as well, which I really like this from BZM. He had queued up the Sanjin Kaya, but he switched to just going Kaya into Orchid, and I think it plays into what Quinn was saying, where like LGD, what they want to do is they would just want to be rats and play the side lanes and try to force OG to split up. So BZM is just doubling down on essentially squashing the rats.
He is rat squashers united out here, just
That's right.
hunting them down. I think what Faith Beyond is doing right now is actually pretty cool. He hasn't like grouped up. He's not looking for some fight because he knows OG just clumped together. He's staying in the enemy agents, taking their creeps. In the whole time while Y was dying down in the bottom lane, Ame was pushing top out.
Okay. Oh, I think that was the finished BKB. Or maybe not.
No, just that. He went for a meta, actually, on Uragi.
Yeah, I already mentioned that. Thanks for listening, Jenkins.
Okay, don't listen to you.
Yep.
Let's start doing
A nice long conversation, actually, by myself.
Because, I mean, despite how unfightable OG is and how much they're dominating the map,
Oh, boy.
they actually haven't been gaining gold recently.
Yeah, concoction on yourself,
that.
that's when you truly feel pathetic. There's nothing you can do. And onto the high ground they go. Still 40 seconds on the Aegis, so BZM can really expend all that mana if he wants to. And you can see Troll Warlord, Uragi, just beating down these towers like they're nothing. And PSG LGD, are they just going to give this up? I mean, they can't go for more than one, so this is probably okay-ish. The best you can ask for. They just give this up and live, but BZM and company want to continue the fight. Blood right connects, and last right click is there as Jin Q takes a tumble. Nothing to say, gets his ult off, but there's absolutely no follow-up. And OG, now that the Aegis is expiring in 6 seconds, likely just back off here and go for some tier 2s.
Yeah, they might be trying to stall for this Mjolnir on Juggernaut. He's getting pretty close, which maybe gives them that extra little bit of damage they need. You know, maybe the Omni Slash gets off more hits and they actually get to kill some hero and de-push the base, but they're in pretty dire straits. Realistically, just looking for OG to make some overextension they can capitalize on.
This is a shellacking, boys. This is a shellacking.
I mean, if you had told me it was going to be a shellacking, like, well, I guess LGD did it again, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, Quinn, would you have expected this, having bested both of these teams and obviously understanding both of them?
Yes.
You would have expected this?
No.
Okay, I see.
Maybe after draft I could see it, because I don't understand the Alchemist 5. I mean, I just tend to trust the director as the thing, you know?
Yeah, well, the initiation is here, and look at that damage on Faith Beyond. He absolutely melts, and Ame finally comes and gets the Omni Slash, but a lot of the illusions and the creeps are just tanking it. The Blade Fury to follow, but I don't believe he has a shard, so it's not really doing that much damage. Buyback from Faith Beyond, nothing to say, able to get off a nice ult. Several stuns, but again, not a whole lot of follow-up as Y will just be stunning an illusion. And now OG gonna try to re-aggress, knowing that they don't have many things on cooldown now. And the focus is on Ame, and another kill for OG as they're looking to take this game, and they do. GG is called, and this was truly a shellacking in favor of OG.
Quinn, what sort of shellacking tier would you say that you think this was?